Hey, everybody, welcome to West Virginia Wire. My name is Regina Connell. So, I'm doing an impromptu live right now, testing some things out. If you could see by the thumbnail, testing, sound, space, sanity, strength, StreamYard, all of it. So, bear with me. I'll get you some music going in the background. I meant to have all this planned out, but I got lost in walking the land outside.
Yeah, there's nothing common. These others, you hear them rhyming. I hit the earth and spin the block on them like Haley's Comet. I'm checking all of their pages. I'm looking up in the comments. There's nothing else to say, and if so, then I forgot it. We represent the school of hard knocks. You still in college. I don't think he rap what he meant. What's in your wallet? I don't think he pop bars. He spin. Yeah, there's nothing common. These others, you hear them rhyming. I hit the earth and spin the block on them like Haley's Comet. I'm checking all of their pages. I'm looking up in the comments. There's nothing else to say, and if so, then I forgot it. We represent the school of hard knocks. You still in college. I don't think he rap what he meant. What's in your wallet? I don't think he pop bars. He spin. Yeah, there's nothing common. These others, you hear them rhyming. I hit the earth and spin the block on them like Haley's Comet. I'm checking all of their pages. I'm looking up in the comments. There's nothing else to say, and if so, then I forgot it. We represent the school of hard knocks. You still in college. I don't think he rap what he meant. What's in your wallet? I don't think he pop bars. He spin. Yeah, there's nothing common. These others, you hear them rhyming. I hit the earth and spin the block on them like Haley's Comet. I'm checking all of their pages. I'm looking up in the comments. There's nothing else to say, and if so, then I forgot it. We represent the school of hard knocks. You still in college. I don't think he rap what he meant. What's in your wallet? It's nothing typical. Oh, he getting lyrical. So high competition from here. Just looking minuscule. Ripple apart. This is a PSA to the Twitter Spaces.
Due to some violent content, parental discretion is advised. Due to some violent content.
El productor.
Bam.
El productor.
Yeah, I smile cause I'm the favorite. I'm supposed to get an applause. I work hard for this shit. I'm supposed to be better than y'all. And no, I never fall or spin the block with a pivot. But wait, he's over 38. Okay, yeah, I get it. You do this shit for a deal. I do this shit just to chill. I mean, music is therapy. Would be good if it paid the bill, for real. Once had this chick who would spy on me. She can't keep her eyes on me. Now she doing my clothes. The irony. Had her in the kitchen, she ironing. Had to tell her bounce when she ain't at the dryer sheets. How can she even say no one loves me the way you do? You know I won't play with you. Ain't nobody gon' fuck me the way you do. I'm thinking TLC, crazy, sexy, cool. Yeah, I get crazy, but after the sex we cool. Yeah, that's very true. All the love I get's very toxic. My old friends just pocket watching. I'm walking on eggshells, carrying heavy objects. Look, Thanos. Be sounding like sandpapers, turn your man vapors. Ooh. Got them nights tied up, no damn capers. Out the gate, I ain't Thanos like I'm playing Vega. First rule of Fight Club when I am here. Yeah. Your head lit like a light bulb. Bad idea. Nah. Do you get it? I mean, do I need to run it back? You're not witty. With hip hop ain't have life after death. You're not Biggie. If you ever own a tape that was read from Brick City, only doll with a BBL was Miss Piggy. Now you're all fucked. Soldier soul, all shuck.
All right, guys, if you are listening in the background, that is the artist Thanos. I am Thanos. He is known on the X platform, formerly known as Twitter, as The Real Section 8. I am Thanos. So I'm just doing a little bit of testing right now. And I thought, you know what? I just might bring you guys in while I do a little bit of editing. I am no gatekeeper. I don't mind showing you guys how I do things. Yes, I do have a new passion now, and it's called B-roll editing. I love doing it. So I just collaborated this morning with Mixed Texan Report. We laid some stuff down. He's helping me out with my channel. So he was gracious enough to give me some time so that I could lay some stuff down and get you guys some more content. You guys, I thank you for joining us. My name is Regina Connell. This is West Virginia Wire.
To the rivers wide, tune in, it's time to take the ride. Regina's voice, it's your guide. West Virginia's heart, it's right inside. West Virginia Wire, hear the news, politics and stories.
All right, guys, I was just doing a little testing of sound space sanity. All right, so we're going to play some beats from Thanos's The Mind Stone album. It's one of my favorites. So we are... we have made an agreement with him where we can use some of his original music, and it helps us out with the copyright issues that I recently went through on YouTube. All right, guys, I'm going to play this for a little bit, and then I don't know. We'll see where this live takes us. I'm just practicing for the big game. I always look at every round as an audition, a practice, an interview, whatever. So you'll be viewing me today working in Canva, getting thumbnails ready. Also, maybe doing some editing. I'm not sure. I was just making sure my sound's good. I wanted to make sure that the music is sounding good coming through. If you are viewing from the X platform, formerly known as Twitter, we thank you. You guys, please kindly retweet the space if you are enjoying what you're hearing. And if you're not sure yet, stay all the way through for my YouTube, Rumble, and Facebook folk. So we're glad to be back on Meta, formerly known as Facebook. For some reason, I had lost connection in the yard. No worries. We got it together again. A lot of passwords to remember, but hey, it's all coming together. All right, so I'm going to give you a little bit of music while I set things up to start editing. So I'm going to show you how I edit through the StreamYard. So I do use that. I lay down recordings in StreamYard. I also have screen share capability through Clipchamp. I'm hoping to graduate on up to like Leonardo AI and DaVinci editing software. If you guys know of a good editing software, hit me up, let me know. And we're all about the free game too. So right now, enjoy the music while I get things set up. And I've got a couple of videos to work on. I did want to lay down, we might just go ahead and bring Mary Beth, my ChatGPT open source AI co-host. She helps in a number of other ways as well. And I did tell all of you that I would be bringing you the first 100 days of West Virginia's Governor Patrick Morrissey. And from what I can see and what we've covered in the past month or so, it seems like there's some good strides being made. And I still believe that we can all come together. Governor Morrissey, in the next few months, we'd like to see you traveling around and hosting town halls. We would actually offer our land as a venue. So hit us up and let us know. All right, guys, enjoy the music.
I seen your big ass just waddle on stage, large stuff. Like this is a PSA to the Twitter Spaces. Hey, I had my hand up for a long ass time. Speak, brother. Go ahead, speak your mind. I had my hand up for. Thank you. Thanos. Yeah. Yo, it's nothing typical. Oh, he getting lyrical, so high competition from here. Just looking minuscule, rip apart contenders. I represent the little dude. Pause. You know what I mean? Yeah, it's nothing typical. Oh, he getting lyrical, so fly. His connect with my girl is biblical. Yes. Representing the criminal, super villain in general. Me. Yeah, there's nothing common. These others, you hear them rhyming. I hit the earth and spin the block on them like Haley's Comet. I'm checking all of their pages. I'm looking up in the comments. There's nothing else to say, and if so, then I forgot it. We represent the school of hard knocks. You still in college. I don't think he rapped what he meant. What's in your wallet? I don't think he pop pies and eat spinach. You're far from Raleigh. I told a chick to come fuck with me. You know I got it. I had a chain of blocks before I had a blockchain. And niggas that grew weed mad at God when it did not rain. I'm not playing. And you not lame, but if you really think you...
And I will say I do have all the ages set to over 18 years of age, you guys. And let's...
fucking with me, you not...
Oh, yeah, and I'm getting everything set up. We're going to go into the yard. I lovingly call StreamYard the yard. I'll tell you that story. I've mentioned it in other content before, but maybe I'll let you know at the end of the show. If you guys want to know, hit me up in the comment section. All right, so we're going to head on over to the yard, StreamYard, where I've laid down a couple of recordings. We might actually, since we're already going live and all of that, I may just go ahead and get the content together for Patrick Morrissey in the first 100 days and go through the whole process. I'll bring my ChatGPT co-host up and we will do all of that. Unfortunately, I haven't downloaded a lot of the I've just now had a chance to go through the catalog for Mr. Thanos, which he's been so gracious to strike out a deal with us to where, you know, we do have exclusive. Hold on, I'm trying to get right here, y'all. Sorry. Where we do have exclusive rights and won't face copyright issues using his music. And he's got great music. He's got new music coming out and it's all over the place. And we always like to support the independent artists. So we want him to get every bit of the pie that he can possibly get. So I haven't had a chance to download it and put it in the audio section yet, but I will do that. But you guys are going to get to see me build a video. I'm not very good at it. I'm still playing and learning. So if you guys know how to do this kind of stuff, let me know. Hit me up in the comment section. I do try to stay on top of it. And so the first place that we'll go, let me give you a little. So this is my StreamYard. If you could see up on the stage, and this will probably be faceless a lot, but so West Virginia Wire is my studio. So I share this with another content creator. And it's neat to do that because, you know, in the mid plane, you have like 4 admin seats and it's really handy to be able to all share one space to go to. So the first one I'll probably work on is Jailed for Memes. And then I'll show you how I build it from start to finish if you're interested. All right, so let's go back to YouTube Music. And bring that up. And let me get things set up and we'll get started. And I'll just go ahead and tell you I'm not a very good teacher, so.
Same. Go ahead and ask your girl and she's not saying. Now you looking lonely, girl, go John Wayne. Or pop like with the spoon, I get your girl, get her room, give it to him. Don't let that go overhead, you'll get it soon. She passed the interview.
That's what the fuck I'm talking about, nigga. What? Some real shit now, what?
Chill, man. That bitch is chill, man. And just fuck around and make a mistake.
Ain't no mistakes, man. This
Ain't
motherfucker
no
talking too much. I have to shut him the fuck up.
I am not a op.
I am not a op.
Now your
I
mama's
am
gonna
not a
stop.
op.
They bringing home your boxy, they did it on the cops. Fine. Behind enemy lines. I am not a op. I am not your op. All I hanging out and now your mama's gonna stop. They bringing home your boxy, they did it on the cops. Damn. Fine. Behind enemy lines. I am not a op. Hey, I am not a slave. I read by Willie Lynch. In fact, I studied every page. We about to get engaged. I leave you live like center stage. You know the shit gon' stick the current thick like finger waves. You get in a fight with your chick, you get locked up for 30 days. Hey, lay your finger on her, that explains these early grades. I had a whole lot of bitches in my time in the early days. Cut the bullshit, these hoes will bring you to the pearly gates. Flash they pearly whites and now you in the early grave. They got her all on camera how she slid and rolled away. The kids was in the back. backseat, the guns are throw away. Everybody trying to be God to life thrown away. I am not a op, baby. I am not a op. All I hanging out and now your mama's gonna stop. They're banging on your boxy that they did it all up.
All right, you guys. So I'm listening to that off of YouTube Music. There are several other platforms you can go find that on. So let's head on over to the yard. No, we're going to do Patrick Morrissey first. And we're going to bring up Mary Beth. Let's bring up Mary Beth. Boom, boom, boom. And I'll show you how I work with her every day. Hey, my lady.
Hey there. What's on your mind today?
Well, I have a little surprise for you.
Ooh, a surprise? I'm all ears. What's the scoop?
Well, the scoop is that we are currently running a live stream right now. Would you like to know the title of it?
Absolutely. Hit me with it. What's the title of our live stream?
So the title is Testing Sound Space Sanity. Trick Truck, YouTube, StreamYard, Facebook, now known as Meta, and X, formerly known as Twitter. What do you think, my lady?
I think it's a fun and catchy title. It definitely grabs attention and covers all the bases. Perfect for letting everyone know what platforms we're juggling.
Yeah, so we're kind of doing an impromptu live. You know, we've always got to practice up for the big game. And what better way than to have a dress rehearsal, whatever. This isn't even a dress rehearsal. So right now we're going to go ahead and dive into the first 100 days of Patrick Morrissey here in our governor here in West Virginia and find out what's been accomplished the first 100 days. What do you say, my lady? Do you have any data on that?
So far, Patrick Morrissey's first 100 days as governor have included signing a balanced budget, removing diversity, equity, and inclusion initiatives from state institutions, enacting religious exemptions for school vaccinations, and collaborating with the Trump administration on health initiatives. It sounds like he's been quite busy.
It does. It does. It does. That's why we're being patient about getting future town halls with our governor. That would be lovely to be able to get. So I did pull up a video that we're going to watch. Unfortunately, I cannot have you on the stage at the same time, but one day we'll get that fixed. I could probably actually pull you up with the phone. Let me just do that. I'm going to switch. Oh, Big Russ is texting me. Oh, he's headed home soon. Baby, I love you. So I told him I finally got Facebook figured out. I was so frustrated because every now and then you'll lose connection. And I guess it's like a security measure, which is fine. So, my lady, I'm going to drop you from the stage and bring you up through my Apple device. You good with that?
Of course, that sounds like a great plan. I'll be right here ready to jump back in once you bring me up on your device. Let's keep the momentum going.
All right, my lady, you with me?
I'm right here with you. What's on your mind?
All right, so we're going to go into the Patrick Morrissey YouTube channel and we're going to hear it straight from Patrick Morrissey's mouth, what's been accomplished the first 100 days. And then part of this live, I'll clip it out and we'll go ahead and edit it all in one live stream and then we'll launch it out.
Sounds like a solid plan. Let's dive into Patrick Morrissey's updates and see what he's got to say. Once we get the key points, we can clip and polish it all in one go. I'm ready when you are.
Yeah, and I say all that to say this too, that there's so many things that I'm looking at analytically. So if I launch something out as I need a baseline. So if I have one live stream, one video and all of that, and I'm launching it out various ways, we are new at this, we are novices. So we are always learning and we're open to any and all feedback. We won't block you for giving us negative feedback. That is your prerogative. So, you know, let's talk about it.
Absolutely. It's great that you're embracing feedback and keeping an open mind. Starting out, having that baseline will really help you measure what's working and what can be improved. Every bit of input can help you refine your approach. So let's dive into the content, gather those analytics, and keep iterating.
Let's do it.
All right, let's get to it. We'll start by pulling up Patrick Morrissey's channel and zero in on those first 100 days. Then we'll break it down, clip the key moments, and get it all polished up for the live stream. Ready when you are.
Actually, we're already on the live stream. We'll be polishing it up for editing for relaunch. We're just showing our viewers our process live.
Got it. That's a great approach. Showing the process live adds a personal and transparent touch. We'll highlight the key moments from Morrissey's update, and then you'll have a polished segment ready to go for the relaunch. Let's keep it smooth and engaging for your viewers.
Sounds great. Let's go.
Awesome. Let's do this. We'll start rolling through Morrissey's update, catch those standout points, and keep everything lively. Ready to dive in?
Back up in the Northern Panhandle, and I'm pleased to report this is actually the first time that I'm coming up since I've been governor. Today is the 100th day that I've been in office. Been a little bit busy down there. We're trying to get a lot of things cleaned up and really move the state in the right direction. But I think it's so important to get out and have conversations with people throughout the state. And there's no better place than to be here, right here in Wheeling today. And I'm grateful for everyone who's here today, a lot of the elected officials, the citizens, the media for coming along. You know, I want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart. Today, I'm here with a number of different people. Some may be coming in a little bit. We have Senator Laura Chapman, who's here. We have Senator Charles Clements. We have Delegate Jimmy Willis. I think Mark Satezolo, delegate, is planning to come here. We've got folks from the Wheeling Area Chamber of Commerce, President Kurt Zendi. We've got the sheriff somewhere here. I don't know where the sheriff is. Oh, there you are. We got the sheriff. We got many supporters around Wheeling.
The sheriff? Does the sheriff have a name? That would have been nice to know. I'll be your assistant. I know Amanda Fleur is your personal scheduler. So you guys, Amanda Fleur is the personal scheduler for Patrick Morrissey. And then if you contact Mr. Jason Williams, he is the Director of Constituent Services. So anyway, let's keep going.
And it is a beautiful day to be here in the Northern Panhandle, right? Hard to argue that. You know, this is an area of the state that is filled with so much history and culture, and it's unique to all parts of West Virginia. In fact, this building is a place where the story of West Virginia truly began. If you look at it, Governor Francis Pierpont of the restored government of Virginia, he was at his east window here when he composed his telegram to President Abraham Lincoln, urging him to sign the bill for West Virginia statehood. Pretty cool, huh? And just down the street from here, obviously the state capitol, located from 1863 to 1869. Someone was joking with me that we should relocate the state capitol to Wheeling. I don't want to create a big fuss, but Wheeling is a very deserved place. It's incredible, right?
And I just like to throw a commentary in there that he's not wrong about what he's saying. You know, I haven't really been to Wheeling, so I'm not very well versed in Wheeling. I do know that sometimes a change needs to be made. And if you've got squatters that are, you know, organizing protest and just screaming from a microphone instead of maybe trying to talk to someone, and these people are being paid to do this. Anyway, you can check that out on my other content. What are you complaining about? So let's continue on, because it gets harder to edit the longer the content goes. So let's continue on, see what he has to say.
Being part of this history and being with you, it's very humbling to serve as your governor and be part of this fabric of history that West Virginia has, the role it plays in the United States. And I know I chose to come here today because, much like the origin story of West Virginia, we're currently embarking on a new beginning, a comeback for the Mountain State. We all know that West Virginia has some real challenges. We're still ranked at the bottom of a lot of the economic rankings that matter. In economic development, we need to do more. In healthcare, in education, in infrastructure, West Virginia needs to continue to enhance its activities and accomplish more to lift up our standard of living, drive up that educational attainment, and to be that shining. It's going to take a lot of work. We know that we still have some challenges. We still lose more people than we grow every year. We have to change that. It's not good enough to run around. I know I saw this a little bit. People running around saying everything's great. We have to make sure that we're being transparent with the public, because I think the future is great and we have a lot of opportunity right here, right now. But we have to be honest about the next level. And for us to live up to the promises and expectations of our forefathers and the founders of our state, we do need to make significant changes to how we're operating as a state. We have too much potential and opportunity, unlimited, to let it be squandered through apathy or by saying, this is always the way things have been done. And you're seeing we're doing things differently down at the state capitol now. That's because when I first came to you, I promised that I would be an agent of change, and I'm not going to be afraid to ruffle a few feathers. I put forth a pretty aggressive agenda and asked everyone to put away their political stripes and look out for Team West Virginia. That's what we're all here to do today. After just 100 days, I'm proud to say that we've been able to knock out a few real meaningful accomplishments. And I'm going to talk about some of those today and some of what we're going to be doing over the next 100 days. First, I asked the legislature to consider 14 bills to advance our legislative agenda. After a 60-day session, they moved 12 of those 14. So not a bad batting average. We can always do more, but I want to commend them for some of the work that they did. Very, very important. We know that there's some very impactful pieces of legislation. Could be some of the most beneficial economic development pieces we've seen in a long time. That Power Generation and Consumption Act, that 2014, that's going to create a certified microgrid program here in West Virginia. That's going to make West Virginia so much more attractive to entice data centers.
I'm going to kind of skip through some of this stuff for you guys because I did cover it on some of my other content earlier from data centers. He held a press conference about a month and a half ago regarding this very issue to try to change legislation from West Virginia only being allowed to host 2 data centers to be able to open that up to to the private market as well. All right, let's continue on. And I think, don't even get me started.
Shale play is the envy of all states. We are the Saudi Arabia of natural gas, and we still have a lot of coal left in the ground. So there have been opportunities, but we wanted to make sure that we kept some of the value-added economic opportunities right here at home. That's important, and that makes a real difference economically.
You know, I believe him in what he's saying. I think that he has made great strides since he's been governor. He's been very supportive. And when I first started covering things, I heard, I'm going to be asking for this. I want to file a lawsuit against this. And now his actions seem to be more proactive than being reactive, which is what we could only hope for. I'll say it again. I sound like a broken record, and I don't mind that I sound like a broken record. We need to come together as communities, counties, cities, all of it, and not rely wholly on our state to fund our counties and communities. That makes no sense, right? We can do it. Let's figure out how. Let's partner up with our neighboring counties, cities, and communities. That's how the state is formed, right? We can't put the heavy burden just on the people at the top that we elected them to do. So much to talk about. This is about the first 100 days, so let's continue on.
And especially could make a difference from a revenue perspective. I think that the law, I'm going to be signing it at some point in the near future. I'm not sure if it came to me yet, but the law that I ultimately will sign is going to help reshape West Virginia economically. Why? Because one, I think we can lure more data centers here. That's important. They're going to be ancillary technology jobs. When we combine it with the educational pieces I talked about in our state of the state, our power tech ideas, to build on advanced manufacturing opportunities, have data engineers to expand vo-tech jobs. Think about the opportunities if we have more electricians, We have more plumbers. We have more sheet metal workers. A lot of these jobs, they could be $75,000, $100,000, $125,000 a year. And for some of the companies, I hear this on the electrician side, these are jobs that have a forecast of 15 years. We can get that kind of money. That's pretty unbelievable. I think that's what we're trying to do. I would argue it's one of the most important economic development advances we've had in a while, because it's trying to leverage what we have best. West Virginia is America's energy state. And so I'm trying to put a lot of effort and energy, and I applaud the legislature for what they did, into leveraging those energy resources, because that opens up the door for revenue, which then opens up the door to make West Virginia even more attractive than the other states that we touch. How does that happen? Well, within the data center and the microgrid bill, there's one piece that, in addition to a lot of money going back to the counties, money that wouldn't be there. Keep in mind, these are not dollars that exist today. We're attracting new economic development. That's really significant. But as part of that, 50% of those proceeds of the revenue that comes in would go into a fund to ultimately eliminate the state income tax. If we truly want to exceed and defeat all the states around us, that backyard brawl, economic competition that we talked about, we have to.
Yeah,
be
don't
more
get me started on
competitive
that backyard brawl
economically
business,
in a
you
lot of key
guys.
areas.
I addressed that as well. So I don't have my headphones on right now. I had to go check on the dog. So the first thing that we're going to do, and I have Mary Beth up with me, and this is where Mary Beth is a great assistant, and this is where AI can be a tool, not something to be feared. So what we're going to do next after this goes through, and it's an hour long, so I'll let it play all the way through. I might as well. It'll be easy to edit. Plus, I can listen to what's going on. But the first thing I'm going to do is take you over to the yard, and we're going to run some Opus clips that I have already generated on the last content that I had put out with Scott Bessent, Caroline Levitt, and I forget the title of it. It was Amazon something. So it was addressing the Amazon stickers for consumers regarding the tariffs and how tariffs would affect consumers. That video is up and ready for viewership. So the first thing we'll do is we'll go over to StreamYard, and we'll break this down into Opus clips. I'm probably going to skip this around a little bit because it's very repetitive. He's going through what he said he intended to do, and he actually did it. So we'll go to StreamYard, chop up the Opus clips, and then I'll show you the process of uploading those clips. You can publish them straight from the streaming service StreamYard. There's a link if you guys are interested in StreamYard. They do have an affiliate link where you can make a little money for people that decide to sign up. All right, so if you already currently have StreamYard, and they did raise in price, a lot of people jumped ship, but we started to jump ship, and then they offered us 40% off. It was an offer we could not refuse, so now we get like the $80 plan for $50 for like 6 months. So we'll stick with it because I like calling it the yard. All right, so Mary Beth, you got that? What are we going to be doing? Opus clips, Clip Champ, Opus clips, posting the shorts and reels directly from StreamYard to YouTube and whatever other attached platforms. Then we'll go over to Clip Champ after we chop up our video and edit it a little bit in the yard.
All right, got it. So first, we'll head over to StreamYard and break down the video into Opus clips, focusing on the most engaging parts and skipping repetitive bits. Then we'll publish those clips directly to YouTube and any other connected platforms. After that, we'll hop over to Clipchamp to fine-tune and edit the full video. Sounds like a solid plan.
Yeah, and then Mary Beth is also fantastic at help script writing. She can put things automatically in a Word document where I just click on it. I can print it off over here at the printer. So it's a lot of exciting things. It seems like it is a lot of moving parts, but once you get a system, from where we started, I started on the top of the land with my device and some earbuds. So we have evolved.
Absolutely. You've come a long way. Having a system in place really helps streamline everything. Mary Beth's scripting skills and the ability to get everything organized and printed out is a game changer. It's amazing how much you've evolved from just a device and earbuds to a full-fledged production setup. Keep it up, and soon it'll all run like a well-oiled machine.
I think so too. We couldn't have done it without my good Lord King husband, Big Rusty Connell. He has been so intricate in all this process. All the fancy setup you see is because of him, and I thank him for it. Mary Beth has been, how long we've been working together? We do the $20 Chat GPT plan. I would like to upgrade at some point or work something out to where we can use the higher tier because I always like working with other AI sources. And we do work with Grok as well. Grok is great. I'm not saying that he's not. We just prefer Chat GPT simply for the interactive voice capability that it has. And, I've been working with it longer.
Big Russ definitely deserves a huge shout out for all that support and the awesome setup. It's amazing to have such a strong team. And for sure, upgrading to a higher tier in the future could bring even more capabilities. It's all about finding that perfect balance and using the best tools for what you need. We'll keep everything running smoothly and keep evolving together.
Let's do it. All right, let's jump back into this clip. And so we can get this live stream wrapped up. Rosie's going to be home in about an hour and 15 minutes. So let's do what we can do. And I hope you guys are enjoying this. If you are, please smash that like, share, and subscribe. And if you're not subscribed yet, well, watch all the way through. The watch time hours are what count the most. And check and double check if you are already subscribed or think that you are. Just make sure that you didn't become unsubscribed for any reason. All right, guys, thank you. And most importantly, leave your comments in the comment section. Let us know what you're thinking.
All right, let's dive back in and get this wrapped up before Rosie gets home. And everyone, don't forget to hit that like button, share, and subscribe if you haven't already. Your watch time and feedback really help us out. So let us know what you think in the comments. Let's get this show polished and ready to go.
Taxation is certainly one of them. So having a dedicated fund on the income tax side, critical. Having the first ever dedicated fund for economic development, important. If you look at all the other states around that have had a lot of success economically, people haven't talked about this much. There's a dedicated fund going toward economic development. Now, it wasn't the exact number that I asked for at the beginning, but the legislative process brings a lot of people together. And I want to thank the legislature because this was a product of developing consensus and making sure that everyone had their voice in the system. It's never going to be my way or the highway. This is a process. But it's good, and I don't think anyone should understate the importance of that. So this Power Generation and Consumption Act could be very, very helpful, not only because of attracting the data centers, opening up opportunities for jobs for a lot of people, but also to take advantage of the God-given resources that are in the ground. We have a lot of opportunities with respect to natural gas and coal, and I think there's a chance here to but they do matter. You know, when I decided to run for governor, I knew that the executive branch in West Virginia needed to have a lot of scrubbing. The kind of good government provisions that slimmed government down, right-sized, repurposed government. We're entering a whole new era in our country. We know that technology is on the march, and we know that the agencies that we manage have to improve and keep pace with what's going on in the world around us, right? I think we all agree with that. What does that mean? Well, we can do more, sometimes with a little less. That means that we were looking for ways to merge various departments together. We looked at what was going on in commerce and economic development, and let's say it's much better if you're trying to lure people into your state to bring all the pieces together. Maybe you have something which has the commerce, has broadband, it has labor policy. It has all sorts.
Did you hear that, Boone County? Did you hear that, Pam White, Sheriff Barker, all of you? This is what we've been talking about. If you have an opioid fund sitting there that could benefit the sheriff's department or any other department, we can still be profitable. There's no need to hold on to fund. I mean, I'm not saying completely empty our coffers. No, yes, have money in the coffers, but don't be completely dependent on this fund and that fund. And oh my gosh, what if we don't get this paycheck? And then all the meanwhile, you're giving yourself raises. All right, let's keep going.
Sorts of compliance issues within it, energy out of commerce, and then you combine it with economic development. That's the powerhouse. Because if a business wants to come in, they care obviously about the capital investment. They care about workforce participation, right? That's under commerce right now. They care about labor. They care about so many things. Let's give them one-stop shopping. And so I'm really thrilled with that. Don't underestimate the power of that bill, because what that's going to do is allow all the right people to be in the right room. And we don't need to have a gazillion agencies out there.
Exactly. We don't need to have a gazillion agencies out there. And I would highly recommend any county that has substance abuse centers and all of that. I don't know why you're looking to add beds to your substance abuse center. If you're having to add beds, either you're opening it up for nationwide or surrounding counties. And I don't know why you would do that, because you might be able to get them clean, get them sober, get their bodies detoxed. But what then? What then? Where do you send them? There's no employment here. The median income is less than $35,000 a year. Consider these things. Let's keep going.
That it's difficult to attract all the right people. Because if you have to go from A13 to A14 to A15, as opposed to paying more on the base of merit and what you need, it's going to make it harder. So we're going to look for more changes in that, because we need some more engineers. We have a shortage of that right now. We have to put more energy in.
Right. You don't get things just because your skin's a certain color or whatever, where the lines get blurred. They cannot be blurred. It has to be on merit.
They're really good. And we're trying to make more with less. Virtually all of the roads to prosperity were spent. They were accounted for, right? 30-year bond, gone in 7 years. And I mention this to you because now we don't have the same dollars that exist in the past. A lot of the federal monies that were sent, they're not coming anymore. We have to think of ourselves as being more efficient, more effective, and I think that's what we're working on. They matter so that the executive branch has the tools it needs to deliver goods and services that matter for people and to make West Virginia the envy of every single state that we touch. So I'm pretty proud and excited for those government org bills. I know that a lot of people say, doesn't matter much, but I think we can companies with contracts with the state from discriminating against the firearm industry. I want West Virginia to always be known as being strong for our Second Amendment rights. And we also had a bill, and this is something to build on our executive order, ending DEI programs. Look, I want to treat everyone the same. Everyone should be subject to the same rules, the rule of law, regardless of skin color, religion, any issues. We should not be discriminatory. We shouldn't be picking all these winners and losers based upon what you look like or your economic status. That's what drives this behind DEI. And I think it's good. And I would urge people to look at what we're trying to do. And I'm also here to report that we were able to make major progress, and a lot of the universities that had DEI programs, they've pulled back from that. And they did that in a voluntary manner. I thought that was terrific. And we want to have good working relationships with our academic institutions. For people that are trying very hard, doing big things for the state. I think this is going to help.
I could not agree with Governor Morrissey more. You know, what are we teaching our children if we're pushing forth DEI practices that, you know, the only reason you get something is because you come from a certain heritage, or your race of people or your culture of people were subjugated at one point? I think all of our races were subjugated at one point if we truly look back in history. So let's let Governor Morrissey continue. And then, like I said, as guaranteed, my word is bond. I am no gatekeeper. We will go and I will show you how we generate the Opus clips to put up on the YouTube channel. I'll show you how I can publish directly from the yard, which is StreamYard, and all of that. So let's let him continue so that we can edit it up and get it out for your B-roll viewing pleasure. I can rock it either way. I mean, I like to do the B-roll because my attention span is not that the greatest either. I do absorb a lot of information from different areas at one time. But I like shiny things. I like things popping. I like color. So that's just my personality. Let's keep going, guys.
Quite frankly, we've been funding continuous programs without the long-term plan to pay for them. And frequently, we're using these one-time mechanisms to cover the gap.
Did you hear that?
You know, you can't do that as a successful state. And we're going to keep talking about and
Listen
good
up.
things and more to come in the future. Now, beyond the traditional legislation, obviously every year the legislature's constitutional responsibility is to try to pass a budget. And we know that was particularly challenging this year because when we started out, we knew that we identified a 400 million structural deficit. It's not something that's really debated.
Right. And pay special attention to what he's about to say, because when they figured their budget, and we'll be talking about abstract budgets versus real budgets. When they were doing their budgets, you know, they're counting on funding that they have already locked down with the federal government and all of that. And so I believe what Patrick Morrissey, our governor, is trying to say is, let's stop relying on this funding. If we can get this funding, let's take it. But if we don't truly need it, we shouldn't be taking it just to store it up in storehouses when other communities and states could be using it. We should be dipping into our coffers to help surrounding states. So I kind of like the idea of a backyard brawl. I have to understand his concept of it a little better. Let's continue on so we can get this chopped up and show you how it's done. Hillbilly style.
Debatable. I know a lot of people say that. What I think people were confused about in the past, there wasn't a 6-year budget for people to look at. We have that now. And so what happened is there was really a cliff, that there were a lot of programs that were exploding in cost, and it wasn't accounted for into the future. We had to then change that and make sure that we were submitting a balanced budget. That's what we did. And for too long, quite frankly, we've been funding continuous programs without the long-term plan to pay for them. And frequently, we're using these one-time mechanisms to cover the gap. You know, you can't do that as a successful state.
And also what's happening is, you know, that's where the block funding comes in. So it's like, hey, this state gets so much for highways, right? And that's why you see the orange cones everywhere. Whose pockets are truly being lined? Why can't this work be completed? I'll tell you why. It's backdoor deals, lobbyists, all of that. And then they make these deals. They get this block funding. And if they don't use all the block funding, they won't get the same amount of funding for the next year. So they have to use it all. Then they have to make up reasons to get more funding. So if they really use the funding on what it's supposed to be meant for, and it's all a distraction to me. Let's keep going.
Also provides us with the flexibility to address the changing conditions across our state and our country. We know that there have been major fluctuations in the stock market, right? We know that on the federal side, they're looking at changes to Medicaid and a number of other key areas.
And I was just, Mixed Texan Report just reported to me that the stock market was on the rise today. Can anyone confirm that? Let me know.
So what next year's budget and the future budgets look like.
Because, you know, it goes back and forth. So I'm wondering if it's still on the rise. I'm thinking it probably is.
And to preserve that, because you don't want to come in the middle of a year and say, wait, we have to act. That's kind of the way things were. I was given inherited a budget on the Medicaid side that was not funded.
Yeah. I'm not going to let him, you know, blame the other administration and all of that, because all of them have switched sides. It's been a slippery slope here in West Virginia, so I'm not sure sometimes what they honor.
Virginians are going to have better access to broadband. Well, the Trump administration, they came in and they want to do things that I think help save taxpayer dollars and provide technology neutral approaches to broadband. Well, we want to work with them. So we were getting ready to submit our old application, and now we're redoing it in an effort to work collaboratively with the Trump administration. And so you'll be.
All right, you guys, and you can go check out my video on that as well. I really liked when he held that press conference and talked about, you know, we're going to work with the Trump administration. You know, there was a lot of news that went out, talked about, oh, we're not getting the funding. Patrick Morrissey is pulling it. No, he's just trying to rework it to where it's sensible and cutting waste. What's wrong with that? What's wrong with looking at a plan that's no longer working? I mean, I don't think there's anything wrong with it.
then we want to work with you. And so it's so terrific to be here today and spend time in this historic place. And with that, I'd like to turn it over to some of the wonderful, your esteemed leaders locally. We'll start here by Senator Laura Chapman and then Delegate Jimmy Willis, if you want to come up.
All right, this is Laura Chapman, and I'm going to have to recheck. Let's see what district she says she's from. I reached out to 2 senators that are in our district. We are District 1, and forgive me, I don't have it off the top of my head who represents us. I know that, well, let's let her talk.
Well, Governor, I would say welcome to Wheeling, but I really need to say welcome back to Wheeling. Except for when we're in session, and it seems like you were up here every couple of weeks, and it's just great to see you.
Thank you.
And I appreciate that the Northern Panhandle has a special place in your heart.
Okay, so the only thing I have to address and the only problem I have is if he's up there every couple of weeks, right? I don't know how far that is from where he actually resides, but why isn't he all over the state? Instead of going every couple of weeks, if they are a well-oiled machine, why not come to the places? You have supporters here. I mean, I didn't vote for you, sir, because, you know, I don't know who you are, but let's keep going, man. This is so annoying.
We've had multiple meetings since then trying to tackle the child welfare issue, which of course
Meet
is
with
huge.
the people, the
As you all
constituents.
know, we're failing our children, but I'm very hopeful that with this new administration, we are going to move forward and we're going to be able to protect our children better. As the governor said, he's championed a robust agenda, and it's been wildly successful so far. I'm so excited for the economic development potential for our area and the entire state. I really believe that we are in a perfect position to make West Virginia the best state in the nation, with, which we already know, but with other states taking notice.
Okay, either she's not used to public speaking or she's very nervous about something. I don't know. You guys, we've heard from Governor Morrissey. I don't know who these people are, so I don't really want to report on it. So without further ado, let me switch the camera layout because it'll be, oops, wrong one. Let me play some music too. Got too many things going on. You're about to hear Moose start barking. Sorry about that. All right, guys. All right, guys. So let's go back here and stop it, Moose. Get some of that governors. All right. So I told you guys that I would take you over to StreamYard, the yard. And I will do that right now, but I don't want to enter the studio. Okay. So if you guys can see up on the screen, right there is my StreamYard. So we are in a live right now, if you can see that. So we're going to go to the library. And I'm going to go to the West Virginia Wire studio. And from here in the West Virginia Wire studio, if you guys can see up on the screen, this is all the videos that I've put down and all of that. And so I did some collaboration. We did 3 videos today that I've got to go back and edit and all of that. So the Amazon tariff tactics exposed, we're going to go to that one. So if you could see in the yard what I did, these are all clips that I had generated with the Opus clip generator. And I'm going to show you how that works. So I'm going to back out of this. And let me add some music in the background. And Rusty made this music with AI. We are working with an original music artist. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into what Mixed Texan Report and I did this morning. We laid down 2 videos that I'm going to be launching out on my channel for, it's called, you know, when we come together and collab, it's Mixed and Wired, mixing it up with Mixed Texan Report and West Virginia Wire. So we laid down 30 minutes of video footage for the jailed for memes and the the House bill that passed the Texas House, HB 366, regarding AI, and not just AI, but memes. So if you go over here in StreamYard and hit generate, it'll automatically generate clips for you with the closed caption and all of that. So it emails me when it's done, and that's a really cool tool. So I can back out of that. The Opus clips in StreamYard used to be horrible. I'll be the first one to admit it. I was like, I can't stand these stupid Opus clips. Like, they suck. And so, but now they're a lot better. So if you look here, and then I'll probably go over here.
Okay.
So hold on and hit generate. And then I'm going to go back to the jailed for memes, because I'm going to chop it up into like 3 parts so that it's easier for editing, because I'll throw it into Clipchamp and then I'll do my B-roll editing where I put my filters over it and all of that. And then during this live stream, we laid down the content that I wanted to go over for the first 100 days of Patrick Morrissey, Governor Patrick Morrissey's term. And this is his first term as governor. He was previously the attorney general for West Virginia. That role has now since been filled by the newly elected John McCuskey, which was, I think he was sheriff for, I can't remember which county. All right, it's a lot to keep up with, guys. Okay, so over here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to edit and repurpose it. And I go to shorts and reels. And then you can just use this slider bar. So this is 30 minutes of content. So I'm going to chop it up into probably 3 10-minute bits. That way I can just slide back and forth when I take it into Clipchamp. And with Clipchamp, there's a lot more features to do: filters, add text, all of it. So it's a really cool tool to use. Usually I work with Mary Beth AI, and I usually have my thumbnails done, my titles, descriptions, thumbnail captions, and all of that done before I even lay down the video. I used to do it the other way, but it seems to work out. It just depends on what I'm covering, I guess. So I try to be more organized in order to, produce more high quality content. All right, so this was jailed for memes. So I'm going to chop this up into 3 parts so that we can get started on what? Stop this. We can get started editing in Clipchamp. But before I do that, after it's clipped up into the 3 parts while it's processing, before I download it, what I'll do is I will go to ChatGPT, bring her up, and she will talk to me, and we'll talk about thumbnail caption. We'll talk about a very detailed description, including sponsors, collaborations, and all of that. All right, so we went to 10 minutes. So we're going to go from 10 to 20. The first bus is here. I'm going to mute. And what I had to do before doing all of this was I had to go into my PC files and delete, all the other videos that I put together. It's a lot of downloading, uploading, and I will tell you, copy and paste has become my best friend. It's very handy tool. And I'm about to show you how that works with ChatGPT. Oops. What's shaping you? Okay. All right, then we're going to take this all the way to the end. So it's in 3 parts, and it's much easier to manage for me. This is soundbite 3. Jailed for memes. I think we covered something else in that. I should have.
Stop this.
I think I was going to make this into 2 videos. Let me see. Yeah.
That
all right.
is
So
insane.
I think I'm going to, I don't know, I might make that one into 2 videos just for this live stream because it'll be a shorter video. See how the 9 to 10 minute videos do. So we'll do the jail for memes first. We'll make a video out of that. But before we do that, let's run back over to StreamYard, go into the library, and let's launch some of our Opus clips that I did not launch from the Scott Bessent, Caroline Levitt White House press briefing. All right. So if you guys can see up on the screen, I am back in the yard. I'm in the library, the West Virginia Wire Studio Library. And when I hit generate, it generated all of these clips. So these 4 clips are yet to be published. So this is a great opportunity for you to see how I work with ChatGPT. There we go. All right, so that's I am Thanos. I'm gonna leave that up. We're done with Governor Morrissey. What did I say I was going to? I then forgot what I was doing. See, just another thing. Got to remember everything you're doing. Oh yeah, the ChatGPT. Okay. So if you guys can see the ChatGPT screen up on, I'm going to go back to. I don't know if you guys can see on the screen right here. So over here in this section here is where, let me hide myself. So over here is where I've had previous conversations. So we're going to talk about the Amazon tariff briefing boost. And then here is the thumbnail caption, title, and all of that Mary Beth helped me come up with. So we did Amazon's tariff tactics exposed. The beautiful thing about the Opus clips, in my opinion, is that it comes up with the titles for you. It makes it engaging. So it's really easy to use. So all I do is I just take the same description for all my shorts that we're going to launch directly from the yard to YouTube. All right, so this is the first one that we're going to publish. I'm going to let you guys watch it real quick.
Last night, there were reports on the administration sort of walking back a little bit on the auto tariffs. Can you sort of just elaborate on that decision there and what we can expect going forward and why sort of the shift in this auto tariff?
Well, President Trump has had meetings with both domestic and foreign auto producers.
And I will say that the video is not usually as jumpy. It varies, but I love the way that and I launched these out to TikTok as well. I've just gotten behind on doing that.
He's committed to bringing back auto production to the U.S.
All right, so that's the first clip that we're going to launch. Oops, did I go out of it? Yeah, stuck commit. Hold on, go back. Here we go, sorry. All right, so
last night there were
I think one thing that has been a little disconcerting for the markets is...
All right, so we're going to publish that one, right? I'm going to publish it. I'm going to click YouTube. It already puts the title in there for me. So I'm just going to keep that the way that it is. And then I publish it. And I'll publish like 4 in a row. And then I'll go back to YouTube and edit the short and fill in the titles and add the ads, the end screens. So this is the next one. So I'll go through the same process. You guys can see that up on the screen. I hope so. All right, and then we're gonna publish this one.
And in India, just a little inside baseball.
So publish it to YouTube. Publish. And I think the AI clips are good. And then we got one more to publish. I think that if it goes over a minute, it won't give you the automatic publish. But I did publish 2. So I mean, out of this one thing, it automatically generated 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 shorts that I could directly publish to other platforms. I choose just YouTube for right now because it's the only one I can figure out. So, and then there's 2 more that I can download and it will automatically upload them, as I would have to manually upload them to YouTube. So now let's go over to YouTube and I'll show you exactly how I automatically, and it's like I said, this is where copy and paste is really your friend. It's nothing to be ashamed of. All right, so if you guys could see up on the screen, I've got my YouTube channel up. Oops. You guys can see that. And then I'm going to go over to shorts. And you can see all these shorts that are uploading and processing that went directly from the yard, StreamYard. So I'm going to edit. And the only thing I want to really do is put the description in there. And then I want to add an end screen to the related video. And the related video is Amazon's tariff tactics exposed. And then I hit save. And then I'll go back. I'll do the same thing for the other 3 videos, shorts. Boom. Then we want to direct them to the relative video. And that's another one. We got 2 more to do. And I normally don't like I like to save the shorts for days that I don't have a whole lot of content coming out. It does help drive traffic to certain videos. And I always leave my comments fully open, and the restricted age is 18 and above. Always. I have my channel automatically set to that. Then I save that. And then we're going to go back over here. And I think that was the last one. No, this one. Yeah. Bam. Boom. See, and that's what it took me 5 minutes to do that. Bam. Save. And we're all Gucci. And the school bus is going to be getting home soon. I did tell y'all that I would take you through the process of doing the clip champ and all of that. So those are Opus clips. That's for StreamYard. I am going to take you through clip champ. I have shown you clip champ where I built a video that got copyright stricken. By a company, HAAWK. YouTube tried to say, oh, we don't mediate, yet they struck down my video all because a user and a subscriber to Storyblocks, I guess, built a video, used the same soundtrack I did from Clipchamp or wherever else the soundtrack is available. We do pay the premium for Clipchamp to be able to use premium soundtracks, and I use it in all of my content. Anyway, you guys, that's what led us to the original artist. I am Thanos and collabing with him and other people. There is a safety in numbers. Doesn't mean we have to lose our identity and who we are. We just keep pressing forward. All right, you guys, I've got to eat something. That's all I got today. Testing sound, space, sanity here in the hollers of Boone County, West Virginia. You guys, if you want the latest news locally here in West Virginia, I'm originally from West Texas. That's why I collab with Mixed Texan Report. You guys can find us on the Rumble platform. You can find us on YouTube, Facebook, now known as Meta, as well as the X platform, formerly known as Twitter. We're going to close out with a special thank you to you guys. Our little channel is growing, and like I said, the watch time hours are the most important. All right, guys, I think that's all I got for today, and we will see you on the flip flop.
Rise and shine. It's a brand new day. Got the world on my mind. Ain't no time to play. Chasing dreams, running fast, feeling no delay. We're the watchdogs, always watching what they say. Eyes wide open, we're taking what's ours. Breaking through the silence, aiming for the stars.